Before the Great Wall, before the Terracotta Warriors, there was the Shang. A people who ruled by bronze, by oracle, and by the will of their ancestors. In their flames, China's first story was cast. The awakening of the Yellow River. Along the Yellow River, where mists curl over golden plains, a civilization was awakening. It was the second millennium before Christ, and while empires in Egypt and Mesopotamia were already ancient, in China, something new was stirring. Here, farmers tilled the soil of the Central Plains, hunting, weaving, and shaping pottery. But soon, a new power rose, one that would define the Chinese world for thousands of years. The Shang Dynasty. The Bronze Age Kingdom. Around 1600 BC, the Shang kings ruled from walled cities. Their capital, Yin, gleamed with bronze and ritual fire. Their palaces rose above the floodplains. Drums echoed through the dawn. The Shang were the masters of bronze craftsmanship. They forged vessels and weapons with divine precision, decorated with dragons, tigers, and spirals that spoke of gods and spirits. To hold a Shang bronze was to hold a piece of power itself. In their foundries, art and authority became one. The oracle bones speak. But bronze was not their only magic. The Shang were the first to write in China. On the polished shells of turtles and the shoulder blades of oxen, they carved their questions to the gods. Will the rains come? Will the harvest be good? Will the king's child live? These were the oracle bones, burned in ritual fire until they cracked. The cracks were read as answers from the divine. These carvings were the birth of Chinese writing, and through them, we hear the first recorded human voice from East Asia. The world of the ancestors. To the Shang, the world was not divided between the living and the dead. Their ancestors were ever present, spirits who watched, judged, and guided. Each king claimed descent from the divine. They offered wine, jade, and even human lives to their ancestors, seeking blessings of rain, victory, and prosperity. In their temples, drums thundered, and flames leapt high as priests chanted to the heavens. Their capital became not only a city, but a bridge between earth and spirit. Life in the Shang kingdom. Beyond the palaces, life followed the rhythm of the land. Farmers planted millet and rice. Potters shaped earthenware jars. Weavers crafted silk in the shadow of the royal court. Soldiers trained with bronze spears, archers with horned bows, chariots rattled across dusty plains. Each sound, the hammer on bronze, the wheel in motion, was a heartbeat of a living civilization. And in the silence of the night, the distant sound of ritual drums echoed through the valley, a reminder that gods were always listening. The power of the king. The Shang king was no ordinary ruler. He was intermediary between heaven and earth, both priest and sovereign. He led armies into battle, sacrificed to ancestors, and read the will of the spirits through oracle flames. Every decision, from war to harvest, passed through the language of omens. The people obeyed not just a king, but a sacred order. And so began the concept that would define Chinese governance for millennia. The mandate of heaven, that rulers reigned by divine favor, and lost it through corruption and cruelty. The fall of the Shang. But even divine order can crumble. By 1046 BC, the Shang had grown decadent, their kings drunk with power and wine. Their last ruler, King Zhou, was said to be cruel, his court filled with excess and blood. In the west, a new people, the Zhou, rose in rebellion. At the Battle of Mai, Shang warriors met the Zhou army in a storm of fire and bronze. When the smoke cleared, the Shang were no more. Their capital burned, their dynasty ended. But their culture, their writing, their rituals, their art, became the foundation of all Chinese civilization to come. Rediscovery of the Shang. For centuries, the Shang existed only in legend, dismissed as myth. Then, in 1899, a scholar in Beijing noticed strange carvings on ancient bones sold in apothecary shops as dragon bones. Those carvings turned out to be oracle script, the words of the Shang themselves. Soon, archaeologists uncovered Insu, the last Shang capital. They found palaces, chariots, human sacrifices, and thousands of oracle bones, proof that myth had been history all along. Legacy of the Dragon Kings. The Shang left behind no pyramids or marble temples. But they gave China something greater: memory. They recorded thought, belief, and time itself. Their writing became the seed of the Chinese script still used today. Their reverence for ancestors shaped Chinese culture for millennia. Their bronze art still glows with a timeless, sacred fire. From their ashes rose every dynasty that followed: Zhou, Qin, Han, all tracing back to the first light of the Shang. They spoke to their gods in fire and bronze, and from that fire, a civilization was born. The Shang may have fallen, but their spirit became the heartbeat of China itself. The Dragon Kings never truly died. They became the memory of a nation,